Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here for my daily video. It is Shamrock Day. Yes, because we need to get started on our shamrocks, otherwise we are not going to have any green quilts or any green shamrocks for actual St. Patrick's Day or to enjoy beforehand. So I have gotten started on transforming the mini muffin here. Let me grab it. So I'm transforming this one into shamrocks. So this is a free pattern that the Fat Quarter Shop did, and this was done in the fall colors. So you could just take this exactly as is and make them in green, and it's super darling. A few of you have done like one block like that for a little table topper. It's so cute. But let me show you my plan and how I'm going to handle it for making it three leaf clovers. So I've shown you this a few times. If you've missed it or not watched those other videos, here it is where I've taken three of the mini muffins, mini muffin pattern as it is, and then added a stem block. So I will do 4 of these, and you can see all of that over at the Shamrock page. Link is below. It's at my I Love to Make Quilts website, which is my sew along website, which lists everything. So it's right there in the table. You'll see the Shamrock. All right, so let's have a plan first on the Shamrock, and then I'll talk about the 2 other options of things you might want to make. So I have gotten all of the 9 patches. So you're making a 9 patch, and then you're taking 3 of the corners and you're doing sew and flip on them with, you know, whatever your background fabric is. And mine, I have a white on white that I'm using for this guy. So I had a really cute one that had some little speckles on it, but I didn't have enough. I was just short of a yard, and you need like 1.25 yards just to do that, which means I needed more than that in order to do the stems. So I had to go with this. I had enough of that. So you're going to make all of your 9 patch blocks, and then the stem block, let me just show you a little bit about how, so the stem block is you know, the similar format, similar but different. So here you can see the whole stem on the block here. Ta-da! And so you're basically, and I have a pattern for that, so you are building three strip units. One with, and let me just rotate it now. So this is like the same size as the 9 patch, but when you rotate it, you see it makes the stem, like here. So you've got 2 sets with a strip and a square, and then one in the middle, which are 3 squares. So that makes, put it next to it, that makes the stem block, and there's a pattern for that at the Shamrock page. And I am using up some really old fabrics like this here. This is super old. This is from my scrap bin, these 2.5-inch squares. I have tons, and I pulled out all of these shades, more light and not so many darks. This piece here was from my niece's wedding quilt. Here's a piece of Morrison Park. So there's lots of cool stuff in here that I've had a very long time. Like that is a piece of green that I probably still have another bigger piece. Anyway, the other thing that I'm going to do, and I went and took a look at how this will work for my size, where I want to put it in my dining room where I have the heart that I've showed you now. So this needs to have another border on it. So what I'm going to do is take the 2.5-inch squares, and I'll leave that white rim around it, and then I will do 3 rows of squares around that, and that'll bring it up to enough size so that maybe if I need it I'll do a 4th one, but I think 3 is going to be fine. So I think then it'll be about the size of the large heart that we did for Valentine's Day. So I'm using these now to start and stop and get that border done as I go along. Okay, the other 2 things, there's other options. I love options. So you could do just a little Shamrock mini mat. This was a design that my buddy Jane Davidson did for our Splendid Sampler Sew Along. So I have a link to that pattern. And then I will have the applique and a Shamrock applique out there in the next day or so. So I did the table runner from the How Tall Am I block in Our Home Is So Long, and this will then get some shamrocks on it. So I'll probably just do like a little shamrock on the one end. I'm not sure if I'll use my Morrison Park green or if I might use a different green, so I haven't quite decided, but I will put that pattern out. Today is the 20th. It'll be out there by Monday, if not sooner. So it is just not out there as I'm taping this. So we'll see when it's there. It'll be there by Monday. So you can get the background done for that. So you could do a little set. You could do the wall hanging and the table runner and the coaster, you know, or the mug rug. You could do all of those. A few people have taken this shamrock and added it to other random blocks that they have and just sort of sprinkled them in and made little table runners. So it's been really cute to see over at my community page, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook. So be sure you are over there because you are going to see so much inspiration. It is incredible. Okay, so let me move these items, and I've got a little update for, if you missed it yesterday, the socialite block will be next week. So we're taking a pass this week. Now, somebody asked me, what is the backing that I used on my traffic jam? So I just hadn't really thought about showing that. So I've got it here behind me, and I used 2 pieces of fabric. Here's one, and this is from one of my previous fabric lines, and then I used another one from another previous fabric line. So, and this particular one was from many years ago. It's quite old. It was when I had fabric with P&B Textiles, and so that was quite a few years ago. I don't know, 15 years ago or something, but I still had a piece of it, and I thought, okay, there we go, we'll get it used up. Now my UFO busting, let's talk about that, because okay, so I have to get, so that traffic jam needs to have the sleeve and the label still hand stitched down, so I'm working on that. But I went ahead and got, yes, because the other thing, so I need to then next I will do binding on the Grandma's Kitchen, which is laying on the table there next to on the tiara table. So the Grandma's Kitchen will be next. I need to trim it and then make the binding, put the binding on. So that is the next thing. But I also got the green border, the flowers with the green border quilt basted. So I spray basted this one. So he is all ready. I'll stand back and hold it up. So that's spray basted. And since some of you like to see the back, I showed you this back as I was making it. So if you watch my videos, if you've been watching every day, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. One of them was over a 2-day period or so. I was showing you piecing the backing on this one, because I pretty much just used up the border fabric, what I had, and then some other fabrics that I just didn't have large pieces of. So I wanted to use it up. And this is a great way to, this is what I do with a lot of backings, is I just want to use a fabric that, you know, it takes more time. I really love the wide backs. I mean, I think the wide backs are amazing, but then sometimes I just want to, you know, because there's no work with the wide back. It's like 100, what is it, 108? I mean, you just cut it and go. But with piecing like this, you have to take a little bit of time. You have to lay it out, you have to measure it, it's got to be straight, so you've got to trim it. But ultimately then, if you have the time to do that, you can use up some of your fabric, make some room for your new fabric coming in. That is always a fabulous goal. Gotta have room for the new stuff, you know. Okay, the other thing that I'm working on, which is not a UFO, it's a work in progress, a WIP, W-I-P. People talk about WIPs. I would say in the yarn, cross stitch and knitting, crochet, they tend to say WIPs. I have these WIPs, but I find quilters don't talk about their works in progress the same way. It's not like a huge, I mean, we know we have them. We know we might be working on 5 projects at once, which could be some block of the months, could be some, 2 or 3 projects that are ongoing, but we don't seem to use the word WIP in conversation all the time like some of the other crafts do. So in the spirit of what am I working on? So the work in progress is, I said I wanted to be sure I got this top done. This, I wanted to just get it done because I really had meant to do it for Valentine's Day. It was from the mystery box from Fat Quarter Shop for Valentine's Day. So I got both of the bows done, but let me show you something. Here's bow number 1, and I put it together and I'm like, oh, that's cute. It doesn't quite look right. I'm like looking at it thinking, it's cute and it makes a bow, but there's something wrong in the ribbons. So I looked at the pattern, and on the other one, which was also wrong, I took it apart. So here the ribbons are. Now, could I have left this one? See, the ribbons have a nice cute little curl. They curl up on the corner, and I thought that was cute. I like them curling up on the corner. But could I have left this one? Probably. It's not that off. I mean, if you don't know what the pattern looks like, this would look fine. It probably wouldn't even occur to anybody that it's not correct. But I will fix it because you see I did both of them wrong, and so then I fixed this one already. Then I had to film this, so I'll fix this one later. It did not take long to take it off and fix it. But what I was thinking is that when I don't actually write the pattern, I'm using somebody else's pattern, I don't have locked in my head what it looks like, which is the same thing you have when you're using somebody else's pattern, which is probably most of the time. It's you don't know sort of the whole process and how it was built and how it was designed, so you don't have anything locked in your head. And things like this, where the ribbon is not curled up, they look fine until you sort of go, I was thinking it looked like something else. Okay, and lastly, I got my home is the top row pieced. There we go. Ta-da! This is so fun. A bunch of you have done your top rows over at the Quilt Along with Pat Sloan page, the community page at Facebook. So jump on over there and take a look through the photo tab. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. You are doing fabulous, fabulous. All right, my friend. I love you. Please use my links below. Please subscribe so we can visit every day. I am going to be checking in with you all weekend over at the Facebook group. So I will see you. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.